Hi everybody. So we're going to talk about completing the square. Before we do that, let's just real quickly tackle something with the discriminant. So we've got that 3x squared plus 5x plus 7. The 3 is the a, the 5 is the b, and the 7 is the c. And remember the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So it's going to be 5 squared minus 4 times 3 times 7, which is 25 minus 4 times 21, which is 25 minus 84. This is less than 0, so we're looking to end up with two complex roots. All right. So when you're completing the square, you need to start off by doing two things. Not setting it equal to 0, and you want your a to be 1. So what ends up happening is you move this 7 over to the other side, making it negative, and then I create what I call parking lots. There are a couple other teachers that do that as well. And we need to make this a 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to factor out a 3. We need to remember that factoring is a process of division. So for right now, there's still the parking lot there. We pull the 3 out in front. That's the 3 out in front. And what ends up happening with this term is we end up dividing by 3, so it's 5 over 3. Now we're going to do the complete the square process. So we take out that middle term, which is the 5/3. Notice I keep covering this up because I don't want you to see that yet. So we've got the 5/3. We take half of that value, which is 5/6. I'm just multiplying by fractions. And we square that value. That's the completing the square process. So now we've got 25 over 36. And that's the value that we set right here. Okay. Now the thing you got to think about is that if I were to distribute that 3, it's 3 times that value. So it's really 75 over 36 that I add on to this side. Okay. Now, if I add these two together, I've got to get a common denominator, and I end up with 177 over 36, and that's a negative on there. Okay? So, when we factor this piece, one of the things I tell my students is that what you get after you've taken a half is what you always end up with inside that expression. You can check it, you can factor or FOIL it out. So you would go, x squared, then you get 5 over 6x, and then another 5 over 6x, and then you'd end up with 5 over 6 times 5 over 6, giving you that 25 over 36. All right. Now, we need to get rid of this factor, so we're going to multiply by a 1/3 on this side and a 1/3 on this side. 3 goes into the negative 177, negative 59 times. So now my fraction is now negative 59 over 36, and I have the x plus 5/6 squared. We're going to take the square root on both sides, and when I impose the square root, I must add on or tack on a plus or minus. Now, I'm taking the square root of a negative 59 and the square root of a 36. The square root of 36 is nice, we've got a 6. The square root of a negative 59, I comes out, and we have the square root of 59 still left inside the radical. The 5/6 move over to the other side, so we end up with negative 5 over 6 plus or minus I square root of 59 over 6. Hopefully that makes sense.